It is 24 minutes past 5 o'clock in the morning right now in New York City. I bow in your direction, Miranda Devine. Thank you so much for joining us. It's too early. It's been too late. You've probably been up for 3 days. A couple of things I wanted to engage before I bring in the rest of the panel, right? Can we just deal straight up with the voter fraud thing? I do not believe that voter fraud is the reason Donald Trump may lose the election. I don't believe it's the reason that Michigan flipped. But we can't pretend that we haven't seen what we've seen with our own eyes.
You're right, Paul. And I mean, how do we know that it didn't have an effect? How do we know that, 10,000 here and 10,000 there didn't make the difference in such an incredibly close election when there's been a concerted effort by Democrats to, hide the counting of the ballots, to change the law in ways that defy logic unless you're looking at committing election fraud. And they've sent armies of lawyers around for weeks to change the laws that have existed forever under the cover of COVID. So they obviously have been up to something, and there are enough pieces of circumstantial evidence. Rudy Giuliani took us through quite a lot yesterday, and there's a lot abounding online. Project Veritas had a whistleblower from the Postal Service ring them and talk to them about the fact that his supervisor said, well, just backdate these ballots that have come in too late and put yesterday's date on them. These are illegal, and it just takes, a few people here and there in this vast country. And of course, where Donald Trump has had these anomalies where he's been surging and then, in the middle of the night, a slew of ballots have jumped in with just Joe Biden's name on them. These are all in swing states in heavily Democrat-controlled areas. So it looks really suspicious. And, whether or not it made the difference to the election, it could have. I'm not ruling it out. But maybe it didn't. But the fact is that it happened, and it needs to be looked at, because if half the country thinks that they were disenfranchised by fraud in an already polarised country, that's disastrous for civility.